Hello and welcome to American by Heart. My name is Rejaldo and I am an African English teacher with an American accent. And today we are going to be talking about passive English learning. Let's dive right in. This video isn't just for people who are learning English. This video also extends to people who are engaged in learning other languages besides English. Maybe you are a French student, a German student, and you are interested in other languages besides English. Welcome to the channel. I really want to see you progress. So I'm going to be giving you guys tips and I'm going to guide you on how either of you or each one of you can study their own language, their own English, and can improve without having to be constantly engaged with the studying process. So, as you probably have been experiencing, sometimes you could be wanting to study English, wanting to develop your vocabulary, wanting to sound better, maybe wanting to practice your pronunciation, and you simply find yourself not having the time to do so. Or whenever you want to do so, you just don't have enough time of practice and you end up forgetting all the things you have just learned. And it can be very painful. It actually hurts a lot to work so hard and so much for something, and then all of a sudden you simply just don't remember any of the things you studied. Well, fear not. Today, I'm going to be helping you specifically with that. So, what actually is passive English learning? Well, you first have to understand what is active learning. So, active learning is when somebody is actively engaging with the material. So, let's say you have regular biology lessons, regular geography lessons from Monday to Friday for 3 hours a day. So you go to school or you go to those particular classes to be actively engaged with the material, and you probably have a teacher or a professor who's going to be guiding you and helping you through all that process. That is what we call active learning. And when you go home, you just don't leave the things to happen. You also engage with the works. You have homework. You usually have papers to write. You have assignments. You have to work with colleagues. That is what we call active learning. And passive learning is actually the opposite of that. You are acquiring the material, you are learning the material, but you don't have to be engaged, or you don't have to be as engaged as somebody who's doing active learning. So, would you like to learn English the easy way? Yes, I'm sure you want to. And the passive way is the best way to do that. And these are tips that I have used myself. So listen attentively, get your notebook, write things down, and never forget to practice all the things you learn, because they are so important and they are going to help you so much if you want to become fluent in English. Okay? Listening is a skill. Using your ears is a wonderful skill. And if you are very skilled at using your ears for learning, languages are going to come to you so much easier because you are engaged in language acquisition in the most natural way. Okay? So, how is it that you can use your ears to boost the speed at which you learn English? You definitely will have to practice passive listening. And what is that? Let's just say you don't have time to be engaged in a 30-minute, 40-minute, 1-hour lesson a day. You have to go to work. Maybe you have to take care of your children, or you have to go to school and you just cannot find the time to sit down and study English. Well, I have the right answers for you. You are going to listen to English passively. You are going to have English going on in the background. You don't have to engage with it. You don't have to think about it, but you have to have English playing in the background with you. Let's just say you are able to listen to my videos as you go along or as you go about your day. If you are able to listen to something in English, your brain is going to constantly be training. It is going to be in a constant battle of trying to understand the things that are being said, even though you are not focused specifically on the action itself of listening, okay? You don't have to understand to listen. Let's go back. This is an example I always use with people. Remember when you were a baby, you always had people speaking your first language around you before you were able to speak it yourself. So if you are able to engage in listening to English all the time, it is going to be the same thing, because there's one thing people say that really grinds my gears. It really makes me feel like, this is a lie. It is that babies and children learn languages easier than adults. Guys, that is a lie. Children can never be better than adults at learning languages. Why? Adults are smarter. Adults are more efficient, and adults have intentionality. If you put your focus, if you put your intentionality into language learning, you are going to learn a language so much faster that even the smartest kids around you won't be able to compete. I speak from experience. I am not lying to you. This is actually something I have done, and I believe you can do it too if you only practice the things you are being told, okay? Please listen. Listen to English all the time. I'm not going to stop telling you guys to listen. I'm never going to stop. Download a podcast, listen to YouTube videos, have a movie, watch series. Even if you're washing the dishes, you're doing housework, you're on a bike, have something in your earphones, in your headphones, on your phone, on a boombox, anything. Just constantly have English playing in the background. And don't do this in a public space, like listening to English out loud with people around you, because that might come off as rude and people might feel disrespected and not like that. So if you're in a public space, just have earphones or headphones so you can listen to English as you do whatever it is that you're doing. Listen, okay? That is the that is the best way of practicing passive English learning, because you're not only getting the way people speak, you're getting their accent, their intonation, their grammatical structures, the way they phrase things, the way they express their opinions without you having to see them. You can imagine the conversation this person is having, maybe on a podcast, as you go. Oh, what are the facial expressions this person is making? If you want to, you can do that. You can tell the facial expressions and the body movements just by listening to the person, okay? And if you do that, it is going to be so much easier to speak to native speakers, because you have what? Practiced. Remember, babies don't understand everything they are listening to in their native language. You used to be a baby. You weren't listening all the time. You weren't understanding like 90% of the things that were being said around you, but you did not quit and you did not give up. You kept listening, and it hurts. I don't know if this happens to everybody, but sometimes your mind just gets tired and it hurts. It hurts to understand English. Sometimes you get to that phase and you're tired. I don't know if this is an experience everybody has, but this is an experience I've had. with learning English and with learning French. Sometimes you're going to be listening to a podcast, watching a series, watching a movie, and you're simply get to a stage where your brain just says, I give up. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I can't. And it starts to hurt. You might be getting headaches. That is totally normal. It's a process of training. Maybe you're just not used to doing that. But if you get to that phase, you could either stop or just push it a little bit further, like 5 minutes more, 10 minutes more, or even an hour more if you really want it. But as you keep doing that, the headaches are going to stop and it's all going to flow normally. I know this is not what most people out there say, but it actually works. And I'm telling you this from my experience. I really want for people to do this, to listen to this and to apply, because it's going to help them so much more and it's going to be so much faster. Okay? You're going to find yourself saying words and sentences that you never actually read in a book. You never wrote them on a workbook. You simply know them. You might not even be able to remember exactly where you got them, but you know them. Like babies, they start to speak. They can't exactly tell when they learned a certain word or a certain sentence or phrase, but they know the word and the phrase, and it's natural. That is exactly how I want you to do. Okay? Thank you so much for being here. I hope you like, share, subscribe to the channel if you want, and I will be seeing you on the next video. Congratulations. Don't give up. I'll see you then, and bye-bye.